Alright, and we are back on stream with round 2 of Swiss here. Still sorting out some team issues and some technical difficulties before we get the stream underway. But we have 2 relatively more unknown players for the second match. But you know, the fact that they're both at 1-0 shows that they've done well enough to win the first match, and now it's the second test.
I mean, well, losing in the first round was it will be quite detrimental for most people. So you really have to win in the second round. Losing the second round, you still have a chance if your opponents are like those kind of maybe top 2 or top 3. However, generally players wouldn't want to take that chance at all. So now we're still setting up for round 2. But how was the play just now? I mean, how are the players just now you've seen throughout the match? I think everybody's still excited after the first round.
Yeah, definitely one of the more exciting events we have here. You know, possibly maybe overseas, you know, a turnout of 70 players isn't that amazing, but you know, we have a relatively small community here, and having such a decent turnout at our regionals is actually already very impressive. So we're looking forward to just grow this community even more and have bigger tournaments later on in the season, and maybe looking forward to BG 2016 as well.
Well, I mean, we do have 72 people today, and everybody is really having fun. Even those who are lost the first round, because it's still the first round, anything can still happen for the next 2 rounds. So people are still in very high spirits, all enjoying themselves, playing Pokemon together. It's quite a nice sight to see everyone sitting down and playing together.
Definitely, that is one of the best things about Pokemon. You know, you do have to sit down in front of your opponents. There are players who try to get their opponents' heads during the match, try to make poker faces, that kind of thing. But for the majority, most players do enjoy the fact that they get to play face to face with their opponents. Get to interact with them during the game, finding out more about them during the game, and having a good chat with them about the game afterwards as well. So
compared to some other esports, I mean, Pokemon tends to be a bit more personal. As we mentioned, both players are sitting right across each other. Both of them can see each other's reaction, each other's expression, and any reactions that happen to the move or maybe just a poker face altogether. So, alright, so now we have Xian Han, sorry for my pronunciation, and we see Yun. On the top side we see Charizard, Typhlosion, Venusaur, Rotom Wash, Espeon, and Garchomp. While on the bottom side we have Charizard, Bisharp, Suicune, Landorus, Sylveon, and Yanxiao.
Alright, right away we see the Charizard mirror here. Interesting team to the inside of the screen, because that actually looks a lot like Ashton Cox's previous regionals team, where he used Charizard Y with a Sun mode and Choice Scarf Eruption from Flashfire Typhlosion. Sorry, mind blanked a bit there. Typhlosion, of course, gets that new hidden ability in 6th generation with that new Pokemon Center release. So interesting to see whether Zoom's actually using that team here.
He does have rather Pokemon that you don't really see in VGC 15. Like, I mean, Garchomp was popular last year. However, this year you don't really see it that often with Landorus. So we see Tianhan sending out. Sorry, Tianhan sending out Espeon and Rotom, while Tianhan sending out Suicune and Landorus.
Alright, Landorus gonna fire up that Intimidate straight up onto the Rotom Wash and the Espeon here. Suicune's pressure is gonna make sure that Hydro Pump's PP is depleted by 2 every single turn.
Hydro Pump is one of those very powerful moves with very low amount of PP. So, especially with pressure, you can't really launch off Hydro Pump as much as you want to. Intimidate does come out, but considering the Espeon and Rotom are usually special attackers, I wouldn't really affect much at all, if at all.
Interesting choice here by Tsuyin to actually use Espeon, another one of Ashton's favorite Pokemon from the USA, because of its Magic Bounce ability, able to reflect any kind of status move. And we are going to see the showdown between the EV evolutions right from the beginning, as Sylveon goes for the light screen, going to buff up Tsuyin's special defense for the remainder of this match.
And Thunderbolt does come out of Suicune, super effective, slightly over half damage thanks to Suicune's bulk, and Suicune does eat his Citrus Berry, showing his healing option here. I mean, Suicune is one of those setup Pokemon, as you can see, going with Dilbin, and he has a couple of recovery options. Some run Leftovers, some run Citrus, and some actually run even Chesto Rest.
And we do see a huge turn coming out from Wei Xiang here for getting in the Sylveon and basically undamaged, as well as getting up such a crucial tailwind. Sylveon's one of those Pokemon that sits at those middling speed tiers, and so speed support in terms of Thunder Wave, Trick Room, or Tailwind is instrumental in allowing it to fire off, Choice Specs, Pixelate boosted Hyper Voices. And in this case, Tsuyun has definitely stole himself a lot of momentum early on in the game.
I mean, on Tsuyun's side, as you say, he has momentum now with extra speed and being able to launch out very powerful Hyper Voice. However, Shenhan at least managed to mitigate that somewhat with Light Screen. So it's quite an interesting first for both sides.
We see Tsuyun here going to switch back his Suicune, done his job since the toe, and going to send back into Landorus to maybe put out some physically offensive pressure on the Light Screen here as Hyper Voice does come out from the Sylveon. Let's see how much it does. Drops Espeon slightly below 50%.
We see Reflect coming out on Espeon, blocking both defense and special defense attack from Tsuyun's Pokemon.
So we see Weexiang here, making rather passive plays, and we see what kind of position that's putting himself into. His opponent has gotten a whole lot of free damage onto his Pokemon, while he hasn't really done anything much back because of smart switches from Tsuyun here.
Yeah, I mean, but you see Rossline coming out on Landorus, dealing quite decent amount of damage, not that much against Espeon, but Hyper Voice does come out, taking up the double KO here on Espeon and Rotom Ward. Yeah, as you said, Shenhan, maybe he does set up both double screens here, but he doesn't have any momentum at all. He's not even attacking, he's not dealing any damage here, and Tsuyun is pretty much getting free hits. Although not doing as much damage as they could, but free hits are still free hits.
Exactly, and we see the Typhlosion, and what's the other Pokemon going to be? The Charizard. So Landorus here going to be a huge threat with that Choice Scarf, and the Rock Slide as well, hitting both the Typhlosion and the Charizard for super effective damage. Charizard for 4 times super effective damage here.
Yeah, here we have Landorus will actually even resist, which kind of can take their both their hits well. Rock Slide does deal quite times for Charizard, but we even with the Reflect, the damage is still quite a lot. And Reflect only mitigates around 33%, it doubles, so it's not really that much.
Exactly. I do expect Charizard to survive this Rock Slide though. The question is, can he deal enough damage back to Tsuyun's Pokemon to take back this game? Rock Slide does connect with both Pokemon first. Both Pokemon are going to hang on though. As the flinch on the Typhlosion, and that is going to seal up the game there for Tsuyun.
I would imagine even without the flinch, Shenhan will still have to deal with Suicune, a water type that even under stun can still take hits relatively well against Typhlosion, and another Pokemon that Tsuyun has in the back. Even if it's a big sharp, Sucker Punch can still take care of it very quickly.
Landorus gets the burn, but it might be too little too late here as Typhlosion has been severely weakened, and even with the burn, that Rock Slide is going to take out the Typhlosion, and Tsuyun takes this game in a very convincing fashion. I think that just shows sometimes hyper offense is the way to go once you get your setup, instead of trying to set up too much and not getting any damage off at all.
That's not to say where defensive plays are not really an important thing at all. However, Shenhan has to gauge when does he want to go on the offense, when he wants to go on the defense. In this case, he went on the defense a bit too much, setting up both screens, doing that threats like Landorus is coming in, being able to deal Rock Slide, especially he has 2 fire types in the back. His priority should have been taking out the Landorus at the time, but he just decided to go for a Reflect instead.
Exactly. But credits, not to take away anything from Tsuyun there, still very well played game by him. Recognize that if he could get up a Tailwind, his opponent would really struggle with dealing with the spread damage from Sylveon and from the Landorus. And that's exactly what he did. He made sure he got him Tailwind, made sure he got both those Pokemon on the field at the same time, and that was pretty much game from there.
I mean, Tailwind is one of our popular strategies right now, especially Pokemon like Suicune being able to take hits and set up Tailwind quite easily. You have some Pokemon like maybe Whimsicott that actually has priority Tailwind, which actually can help your own Pokemon being faster and getting off the attack first. And you can see here, that actually helped a lot in getting momentum.
Perhaps if it's interesting that Weexiang actually, kept his offensive powerhouse at the back, but perhaps trying to set up, his defensive screens before getting out the offense. But, I think perhaps if he had switched them around a bit, sent out the Charizard at the beginning to immediately threaten the Suicune with a potential super effective Solar Beam to knock it down to really low HP, things might have been a bit different there. So not entirely a one-sided match in that sense.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, choices could have been different and it could have affected the play. However, as you see here, over defensive is not really the way to go.
Alright, and that's enough from us. Let's hear a bit from... Okay, and let's hear a bit from the player who actually played in the game, Ziyun.
Alright, hi Ziyun. First of all, congratulations for the win.
Thank you very much.
So, I mean, how did you feel at the start? I mean, you're seeing your opponent setting up screens. Sure, you had the momentum, but that would be something quite annoying, wouldn't it?
Actually, I think that if I set up going, it's actually quite easy for me to run away steam, but I also acknowledge the fact that Zly and Bottom can actually settle my sequence a lot, so I brought the Landers with me.
So yeah, I mean setting out tailwind was pretty much what caused you to win. With Landers coming in, going first, heading out rock slides effectively. So it wasn't really too much of a problem that the damage was mitigated for you. You weren't really thinking much about it at all.
Yeah, actually I was just thinking tailwind,
Just tailwind, that's right. Well, I mean that proved to be effective. So I would say that was a good play from your side. Not sacrificing in your attack, pushing off towards and getting the win from there. So again, congratulations for your win.
Thank you very much.
And all the best for the next few rounds.